And it's time for NewsNation Live. We're going to start right here with NewsNation's Brian Entin, the first on the scene at that massive SWAT operation, bringing you the images live. Brian, I was staying up late watching your coverage, half asleep, trying to stay on this because we felt like this may be a huge break in the case. Is it? Are we any closer to finding Nancy Guthrie after this massive SWAT operation?
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that is the case, and it was a wild night. I mean, we were out there with the SWAT team, and it felt like something significant was happening. They stormed a house about 2 miles from where I am, right here outside Nancy Guthrie's house, Anna, and then there was also a simultaneous traffic stop that was connected to the same incident. They took 3 people into, custody, essentially, for questioning. They have now been let go. I am told by the sheriff that there are no arrests, that they were following up on leads last night, but as of today, there are no arrests, and that there was also a federal search warrant that was activated at the home where the SWAT team was. And that's significant, Anna. A federal search warrant means that a judge signed off on it. It means that there is obviously some reason, some very, very legitimate reason, that they believed that the person who lived in that house or who was staying at that house may have been connected to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. But again, the morning after all of this, the sheriff confirming no arrests and no signs of Nancy, which is obviously the worst news of all, because when we were out there last night, we were hoping maybe this would lead to some sign of Nancy. I am also hearing, though, from sources, Anna, that the investigation into last night is not over, that we should not just move on from this and discount this because they are still going through evidence. Think about things like cell phones, DNA that they could have collected from the people who were inside the house, and all of that stuff is going to take time. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this pans out, if this is a lead that could actually help in the investigation, or if it's similar to what we saw the other night in Rio Rico near Mexico, where a man was detained and let go, and it seems like he had absolutely nothing to do with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
Right, and we have been very careful with the way we're wording this. 3 detained again in the search for Nancy Guthrie, that happening overnight, likely while people were sleeping, if they didn't see your great coverage last night. Not arrested, not charged, but as things were unfolding, we thought there may be an advancement in that. Now, with the sheriff telling NewsNation that no arrests have been made and no sign of Nancy, he has also not said, as far as we know here, and you can clarify for us if it's different, but whether they have actually been released. You know, are they still talking? Are they still being detained, or are they on their merry way?
Yeah, that's a good question, and he hasn't clarified whether they are released, although it is my sense that they have been released, because at this point, I mean, like what we saw the other night, you know, they could only detain them for so long if they're not actually a suspect or a person of interest. They question them, and surely they're going to keep an eye on them while they continue to wait for DNA results and continue to look through evidence. Because, again, there was a federal search warrant, and that's new. We just learned that within the last 20 minutes or so. I knew there was some kind of search warrant, but the fact that it was a federal search warrant is significant because, again, in most cases, that means that a federal judge or federal magistrate had to sign off on that happening, which means there was something significant that led them to that house last night, Anna.
Right, and, you know, I think we have some video as well of you in the car as you're, you know, waiting and watching and your coverage again. Yeah, here you are, and you were saying last night that there was not flashbangs, pepper spray, anything, that these individuals came out of the house on their own accord, but the SWAT team was not taking any chances. They had on their body armor and things. Just walk us through, again, those moments as in great a detail as you can for us.
Yeah, sure. So we started out, the SWAT team was staging in 2 different locations. So we were waiting, and they've done that other nights, which means that they meet in a location, a parking lot somewhere. They all come together, the canines, the SWAT units, they all have their armor, they've got their trucks, and they just wait for the call for when, you know, when the, you know, the investigators say, okay, we're ready to move in. And we weren't sure if that was going to happen last night. It did happen. And we just happened to be right there with them when they got into this neighborhood, and we made it into where they, you know, created a perimeter, but we were on the inside, so we were able to get a sense of what was going on. And they were clearly ready for the worst. But luckily, the people that they wanted to question didn't resist. I mean, they came out of the house. It was a man and a woman at the house. I believe it was a mother and son. That's what I was told last night. and they just came out.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.